Just a quick disclaimer, it does look like COD partners, bigger COD channels, and the press have been given permission to use the leaked Modern Warfare 2 images in their articles and videos, so I should be okay showing them here for you guys in my video. But without further ado, enjoy. What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about an upcoming preview of Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, Sony's response to the Microsoft acquisition, and some other new reports. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and make sure you have notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Cold War 2, Warzone, Modern Warfare 2, and any other future Call of Duty as well. I've also just bought Modern Warfare 2019 over on Battle.net. Obviously, I had a copy for PlayStation, but I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and try out some MW19 multiplayer with FOV slider. Let's go ahead and try out some more Spec Ops mission over on PC to see how much better it runs in comparison to PS5, and it's also, of course, in preparation for the upcoming release of Modern Warfare 2, and I am assuming, as reported by the press previously, that MW2 will end up launching with an FOV slider even on console on day one of release, which is fantastic. But in case you guys missed it, Sony has partnered with Backbone on a PS5 DualSense-like iPhone controller, which members of the press have been using over the past week and a half, playing Call of Duty Mobile and even remote play over on PS5. This looks absolutely hilarious. So imagine taking the bus, taking the train, you see somebody out there with this controller sweating COD Mobile or some other game out there. It's going to be absolutely hilarious. It's also perfect in time for the upcoming release of Warzone Mobile, which I believe is going to be this fall before the holidays, but we're still unclear on the release date of that upcoming mobile experience. Now, first and definitely foremost, we do have Sony's response to the Microsoft acquisition, right? A couple of days ago, journalists did report that Sony has responded and essentially responded by saying that, yeah, we're acknowledging Call of Duty is a massive franchise, and obviously the most amount of people that play Call of Duty are on PlayStation consoles, so they understand that it's a bit worrisome that Microsoft is going to be taking over that entire property and could theoretically at any point in time take away Sony's access to franchises like Call of Duty or even some other Activision properties. Now, I don't think they are actually going to go ahead and do that, because in the end, what's the point, right? They'll be making all the money anyway if they own Activision, so why take away a big revenue stream, which is clearly Call of Duty on PlayStation? Why take that away unless they want to use that as a strategy to push more Xbox console sales or Game Pass subscriptions? I get it, right? Business is business, but here's what I think could actually happen maybe after Modern Warfare 2, maybe even for Black Ops 2024. Microsoft could make it to where Call of Duty will cost money if you buy it on a PlayStation, but is free with an Xbox Game Pass subscription. That way, they don't take away Call of Duty from PlayStation, but essentially encourage you to get an Xbox Game Pass subscription or to just maybe download it on PC instead of buying a PlayStation. So that is very realistic, but let's see what actually happens when the acquisition goes through in the next couple of months, presumably even a year if it gets delayed any longer. Microsoft also made a weird comment though in response to Sony's response, where they said that Activision doesn't really have any must-buy games. I'm not sure what they really meant by that, considering Call of Duty is the biggest franchise. It's kind of its own beast and its own genre. I mean, there really aren't any other shooter games like Call of Duty that generate this much revenue and are as popular or have like a battle royale like Warzone. Obviously, Fortnite's out of the equation. That's also on its own turf. It's its own thing. Definitely disconnected from whatever Call of Duty is going for. I get the similarities for battle royales, but you guys know what I mean, right? They're just kind of their own type of games, which haven't really been competed with at all. So I'm not sure what the point of Microsoft saying that really was, but leave your best theories down below in the comments. Now, also in regards to the quote-unquote bring back Verdansk for Season 5 talk I've been seeing all over Twitter and Reddit, we also have Charlie Intel, which reiterated for us that developers do plan out seasonal content months in advance, and they mentioned 3 to 4 months ahead, so this most likely will not happen. And they also have said in the past, as I remember very clearly, that if they brought Verdansk back, there'll be another 100 gigabyte plus download for Warzone, and I guess that's fine for those out there on PC who have unlimited storage, or for those that have extended storage on their consoles. Absolutely right, that's fine, especially if you only play Call of Duty. You don't mind having an extra 100 gigs on your Warzone app to play Verdansk again, but I personally don't think they're gonna end up doing this. I mean, maybe there's a slim chance they could somehow port the map over to Warzone 2. I don't think that's possible either, but you know what, maybe Modern Warfare 2 being a direct sequel to MW19 could at least open up the possibility of seeing Verdansk again, maybe through campaign, maybe even through little Spec Ops missions, not the entire map, but some sections of it. Obviously, the map got blown to smithereens a little while back, so I'm wondering if we'll end up seeing a post-apocalyptic Verdansk at some point in the future, to some capacity, right? Now, I get it, I have seen the argument, why not just rotate Caldera and Verdansk the same way you rotate Fortune's Keep and Rebirth? I've heard the argument 100 times, but I also think there are some nostalgia goggles on when people actually say that, because I remember very clearly when Verdansk 84 came out, people out there were already done with Verdansk. Verdansk. They were claiming that Treyarch should have come out with a new map for Warzone when the Cold War integration happened. They were tired of Verdansk by the end of Cold War's life cycle. People were really excited for Caldera, but then when Caldera came out, right away the COD cycle kicked in. Oh, bring back Verdansk, new map is bad. So I can't even imagine when Warzone 2 comes out, will people out there be like, oh, this new Warzone 2 map is terrible, bring back Caldera and port that to Warzone 2 instead. That'll be hilarious to see. Now, I also feel like this was a planted leak of sorts. Again, not confirmed, but you would think if you get invited out to a Modern Warfare 2 event, Activision will probably tell you, hey guys, don't take any pictures of XYZ, or if you do, with permission, do not post anything until an embargo lifts. But we have NFL player Cameron Dicker who posted something over on Instagram, which I can't show you on screen for obvious reasons, but I'm sure you guys probably saw the exact picture I'm talking about if you guys follow Charlie Intel on Twitter or other members of the press. So this NFL player posted, and I quote, having fun on the new Call of Duty, hashtag COD partner, hashtag Modern Warfare 2, with what appears to be our first look at the multiplayer menu, featuring an operator in some type of weird looking background. It's probably a placeholder background for the menu right now. Kind of reminds me of one of the earlier menus we had for Cold War multiplayer, and it looks like a custom private match lobby. It says start match, game setup, CODcaster. The lobby expires in 10 minutes, so it's probably an exclusive lobby that will only last for an extended amount of time. Over behind the scenes right now at this event, we have 6 people in the lobby, and what looks like one of our first multiplayer maps called something museum. Can't really make out what the other word is at the beginning of that, but again, if you guys have seen this image, let me know what you think of it down below in the comments. Charlie Intel followed up by saying it appears as an event for LA Rams players playing MW2 multiplayer, and Cameron has now deleted the above image and posted this instead. Just a basic image of the Modern Warfare 2 cover art with hashtag COD partners. So if people already who got flown out a little while back for the MW2 reveal, if they already played multiplayer and now NFL players have played the multiplayer, it does look like some crazy marketing is definitely imminent for Modern Warfare 2, and it's probably going to be right around the time of COD Champs or shortly after that, so whenever maybe they plan on dropping a trailer early September, with the rumored beta coming out at some point in the middle of September. Now, following the multiplayer image that an NFL player shared, we then have an image of what appears to be the DMZ menu, which is currently sitting on this NFL player's Instagram. I'm sure it'll be taken down as this video goes up, but Charlie Intel did post the image over on their Twitter. If they're allowed to post these images, then I kind of have a feeling like these are planted leaks that Activision wants to be out there on the internet, or else I don't think Charlie Intel would be allowed to actually report on this. But even if Charlie Intel gets hit with the DMZA claim, I'm sure other gaming websites out there will probably repost these images. And the caption on this Instagram post showing DMZ does say, about to tap in with Call of Duty previewing unreleased game, hashtag Modern Warfare 2, hashtag COD partner. Can't really make out what is being depicted in this image aside from just that deserty like background with the DMZ logo at the top right. I guess you could also say this seemingly confirms DMZ is coming out at launch, although like I've been saying before, and as other journalists have claimed, DMZ very likely will release with not too much content, but enough content to warrant being there at least this fall, and then we could either get massive updates to it each season, or it's even possible that during year 2 of Modern Warfare 2, DMZ gets yet another massive overhaul that may cost money, or gets some crazy updates that again will never be free to play, but will always be locked behind the paywall of Modern Warfare 2. Now, a couple of hours ago at time of recording this video, it was confirmed that if you tune in to COD Champs this Sunday, August 7th, there will be new information presented about Modern Warfare 2, and we can all assume that it's information about Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, of course, considering last year during the Cold War COD Champs, there was a sneak peek preview dropped about Vanguard multiplayer. It wasn't the actual trailer, but it was a bit of an in-depth look at Champion Hill, a sit down with developers. The same thing might happen this time around for Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, where developers sit down and talk about some changes they made to the experience. They might show us a couple of seconds of gameplay for some of the new modes like Knockout and Prisoner Rescue. They could even announce an alpha, you never know. But aside from 50,000 beta codes being given away this weekend for Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, which to my understanding is double the amount of codes that were given away last year for Vanguard, this could definitely be a very exciting weekend for those out there that have been waiting patiently for Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer marketing. Now, this whole what's next segment about Modern Warfare 2 could even give us some insight on that apparent rumor that we're going to be getting campaign early access. I'm not sure how that would work. I mean, as talked about on the podcast, I think in place of an alpha this year in terms of multiplayer, we might just get early access to either a couple of missions or the entire campaign. But here's the problem, right? Instead of spoiling the entire campaign, allowing you to play it as early as like end of August, early September, what they'll probably do is this. They'll do all the marketing, they'll get the trailers out for Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, we'll have our beta in like mid-September as originally reported, and then maybe the second week of October, we'll end up getting that early access to the MW2 campaign expecting a good week or two before the game actually launches. That'll be a bonus if you pre-order maybe the Ultimate Edition or whatever the case is. Maybe that's how they're going to do it, because I highly doubt that when an alpha is supposed to drop, which is maybe this month in August or very early September, I doubt they're going to drop the campaign that early. That just wouldn't really make much sense and would obviously be bad for people out there that don't want to see spoilers on the internet. But here's the thing, right? I think if they do early access to campaign and it's the entire game, it'll likely be available for all platforms, not PlayStation exclusive, but you never know what deals Activision and Sony have planned behind the scenes right now. But as you guys already know, I'll be streaming my live reaction to COD Champs this Sunday. I'm very excited about that. I always love watching competitive COD with you guys out there. It's always a blast reacting to all the sweaty moments that'll happen during these events. And I'm also expecting a small roadmap of sorts, maybe just a tweet or a little blog post talking about when to expect the next bits of marketing for Modern Warfare 2. Now, also as a bit of a follow-up to my last video where we talked about the recent Activision Blizzard earnings call, which again was not public. They haven't made any of the calls public ever since the announcement about the Microsoft acquisition. Hopefully when that deal goes through, we'll end up getting some actual public phone calls again where we can react live on stream to whatever is said. But it was confirmed that Modern Warfare 2 will lead the most ambitious rollout yet across the franchise. An all-new Call of Duty Warzone 2 experience, tightly integrated with the premium game, will launch as an extension of the Modern Warfare universe later this year. Some people out there interpreting this as them confirming that Warzone 2 will be playable through the Modern Warfare 2 app. I just don't think that's going to be the case, especially considering the recent leaks about Call of Duty HQ, the rumored Disney Plus-like application, which will serve as a hub for all current Call of Duty experiences. It'll be one place you can go to access all your apps, might be even a bit more than that, where it's like a HQ space like World War II had, where you can actually load in with your friends, take a look at your skins, do a firing range, 1v1 pit. Might be even bigger than we're anticipating right now, but I personally do not believe Warzone 2 will be bootable in the same app as MW2, considering that was the exact problem we had with Warzone 1. I mean, to this day, Warzone 1's extension within MW19 has kind of broken a lot of elements of MW19, whether it's multiplayer, whether it's Spec Ops. So I think keeping those experiences separate will be the best decision they could make to really improve on a lot of the issues that we had with the first iteration of Warzone. And it was already said before, developers did not anticipate Warzone being as big as it ended up becoming, and I'm not sure why they thought that way considering it's a free-to-play experience, but they didn't think Warzone would get more than 1 year of support. They didn't expect to do integrations with other Call of Duties like Cold War and Vanguard, so that's why the initial decision was made to integrate Warzone with MW19. It was expected that Treyarch would have their own Battle Royale, which was like Fireteam, Blackout 2. Sledgehammer would have had their own Battle Royale. It's probably going to be on the arms race map that we have in Vanguard. That was likely the plan at one point, but plans obviously changed. And we got confirmation that Activision Blizzard has generated $1.2 billion in revenue from in-game content during Q2 2022. The company says that Call of Duty Vanguard and Warzone engagement and in-game revenue increased in Q2, leading to higher revenue, but still lower year over year. And I guess that's to be expected, right? It's post-pandemic. People out there are going outside again. They're working actually in person, not remote that much anymore. In a lot of places, I get it, did remain remote for a number of reasons, but times have changed. I think when the pandemic initially first hit, when lockdowns began, more people were at home, which means more people actually had an opportunity to play Call of Duty, to spend money in game, and a lot of other reasons. But I think in terms of Call of Duty right now, things are probably going to go back to the way numbers looked prior to Black Ops Cold War and prior to the pandemic. But I also think there's a big chance, considering how big Modern Warfare 2 is about to be, the numbers this time around this fall might look even bigger than they ended up looking for MW 2019. Now, considering this is a Modern Warfare video, I also wanted to touch on a topic that we addressed yesterday in my other video, but there's actually more to it. So remember that quote that says that there's going to be some premium content released in 2023? Well, unless that's Treyarch's next Black Ops game, which I don't think it is going to be, considering we have Jason Schreier, another gaming journalist, reporting that Treyarch's next game is still delayed, but other premium content is going to drop in 2023. I mean, right now you can speculate it could be some remastered COD projects, World at War, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3. Sure, you could even argue, oh, this is just a DMZ open world mode that'll be in Modern Warfare 2, but it'll be locked behind a paywall of sorts, either through the base game or a separate DLC add-on on its own. So you can speculate all of that, but what about the very interesting possibility that the first 6 seasons of Modern Warfare 2 will be free, as we saw for MW19, Cold War Vanguard, but what about the second set of 6 seasons, if that is the plan right now? If Modern Warfare 2 gets a full-fledged year 2, 2, then could seasons 7 through 12 actually end up being paid seasons where you actually have to pay for new multiplayer maps or weapons or modes? What if they go back to the old model in Modern Warfare 2 Year 2? What if they figure, you know what, Modern Warfare 2 is about to sell very damn well. What if we push it a little bit farther and start charging for DLC again, but in a bit of a different way than everybody's accustomed to? I saw this theory being spread all over Twitter and Reddit. I even saw Nero Cinema made a video about it, but personally, I don't think they'll go back to that. I just don't believe that they're gonna have 6 free seasons and then the Year 2 is gonna be like, all right, now you have to pay for this other stuff. I just don't see them doing that, at least not for multiplayer maps and weapons or modes. I could see them doing a paywall-like system for DMZ or something else we don't know about yet, but I don't think it makes any sense whatsoever to be like, okay, Year 1 is going to be free essentially in terms of DLC, but Year 2 is going to be the opposite and it'll go back to the Black Ops 4 system or a game before that. I just don't see that being likely, but I think to make up for not doing a premium COD in 2023, Activision will find a way to charge all of us out there for some type of DLC, some add-on, some extension, or aside from that, they'll end up charging for some expected remasters of older Call of Duties, and those games might even have multiplayer. Now, last but definitely not least, it was confirmed by one of the infamous leakers over on Twitter, Scarface, that the planned Final Mastery camo in Modern Warfare 2 will be reactive. Now, take it all with a grain of salt, as I say with every rumor, but the tweet below this one actually got taken down. He apparently shared images of what could be upcoming camos, so that's why I think it is pretty reasonable to believe that, yeah, the Final Mastery camo in MW2 will be reactive, and this person probably saw proof of that. But let me know down below in the comments, right? What are your thoughts on the last couple of Mastery camos? We have Damascus, we had Obsidian, we obviously had Dark Matter Ultra, Dark Ether, Atomic, another Dark Ether one. How do you think Infinity Ward will top all those camos with the upcoming one we're going to see in Modern Warfare 2? Will it be too similar to Damascus? Will it be something that's completely different, something that we haven't really seen in COD before? I'm looking forward to this because I think year after year I keep telling myself, right, how different could the Mastery camo possibly be this time around with this game? But you know what? Some developers behind the scenes have some really good ideas and often find ways to innovate on things that have been in COD for well over a decade. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the upcoming preview we're going to get for Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer? What are your thoughts on Sony's response to the Microsoft acquisition? And also, what are your thoughts on the upcoming changes to Call of Duty as we know it? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.